Woo! Hi, I'm Megan.
I'm Kara, and this is the Witches, Magic, Murder, and Mystery podcast.
It sure is. We were going to start this off real quick if you guys are on the YouTube video and show you we got some stuff in the mail today.
We love mail days.
It's the best. I swear, ever since you said we love farmers, like now it's all I hear. When you're like, we love farmers. Bum, 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 bum. Okay.
Support your local
That'll be
farmer.
in Tuesday's episode. Okay. So we got this really cute card.
It's adorable.
Oh my gosh. You guys, it's just the sweetest little thing. When you guys send us little notes.
We just love it, Sarah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sarah. And then we got some little witchy books.
It's adorable.
From Rachel.
Rachel.
You know.
And they came across the seas.
Across the pond.
Across the
pond. It had the queen. They say witch.
Oh my God. God save the queen.
God save the queen. Yes.
It's adorable. We love these so much.
And
also,
then,
I'm obsessed with notebooks, so that's...
I know. Actually, I'm planning to start journaling again, and I'm really excited about it.
So
I haven't journaled in a really long time.
I'm so proud of you.
I just love it. And so I'm always looking for like cute little notebooks, you know? And then Kristen sent us these really cool bags, and it's called Sad Shop. You can look it up on Instagram. It's Sad Shop Co.
Eco-friendly, woman-owned business.
Mm-hmm.
Adorable. She's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
Just beautiful.
Okay, so these are the bags.
I just love them so much.
Okay, I don't know how to do this. Okay.
You just...
that's not good.
I can't, no. Okay, so let's do this. Perfect. Okay.
It says good witch vibes and kindness.
Kindness is magic.
Yeah. I feel like I should send that to the high school. I should have my daughter give it to that boy who's...
Maybe she should just carry it every day and then just make sure that she sits in front of it and puts it on her seat to where it's facing him.
Like she can be the kindness is magic person.
Yeah.
But then I also want her to wear a shirt.
Shove that in his face.
Well, I want her to wear a shirt that says, you know, my mom thinks you're awful. Yeah.
My mom hates you a lot.
My mom wants to ruin your life.
Yeah.
And then this one, We Goddesses.
I love this so much.
And then another good witch vibe. So it's just the best. It's so nice. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And for the little birthday note, we really appreciate it.
We love it so much.
And
it's the cutest little card.
Yeah, the card, I believe, was handmade also from the Sad Shop. So she said that the girl who does the Sad Shop, her name's Katie, who's a friend of Kristen's. But yeah, look it up, you guys. We always love those women-owned businesses.
Like spooky witches. This is amazing,
spooky
guys.
Witches. Pretty much anything at this point can be witchy woman, you know?
It's gonna be... Gonna be fun.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
A podcast.
Are we? We're doing a music video.
No, but that's what we are doing from now on, guys. We are transferring everything over to...
This is our formal announcement. Our album will be coming out.
We're gonna drop it like it's hot. In December, Christmas.
Yeah, it's a Christmas.
It's a Christmas album.
It just became a witchy Christmas album.
Can you imagine?
We both were like, "What
Can we make Christmas cards?"
Oh my God!
And send it to our listeners.
Yes, we should do that.
Our Patreon members and
yeah. I was thinking we should have some kind of little Christmas thing for our Patreon people because you all have been like so amazing and like. You know, when we started the Patreon, it was like, I don't know if anybody's going to subscribe to this, but let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's just been...
And here you guys are.
Incredible how much support. And just the sweet little things you guys say. I love you guys so much.
Yes.
When I have a bad week, you all will like message me on Instagram and say the nicest things. So
I know.
I love you. Okay.
It's amazing. You guys are amazing.
Yeah. It's really something. It's this whole thing. It's really something.
Yes.
What kind of story do you have?
Okay, so those of you that are on Patreon know that I talked about pow-wowing, which has nothing to do with Native Americans. It is a practice of magic and like hexes and like some religious beliefs mixed in. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but a different side of it. So I found this story on TikTok and I just decided to dig a little deeper into it.
Nice.
So, I had mentioned before, but those of you that aren't on the Patreon, here we go. It is like the term powwow exists among the early settlers of Pennsylvania who were Germanic descent. They started calling them Dutch instead, and they were just like, guys, that's not us.
We're not Dutch.
Like, you all aren't understanding. That's not it, but whatever. it unfortunately stuck with them, and they're just like, screw it. Like, we can't get this out of your all's vocabulary.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yes. So, they started the term powwow, and it was like a mystical practice of healing. And they claim they possess like magical healing powers.
I just feel like it's like pow wow.
Like it's magical. Like, wow. Wow.
I like the wow part.
Yes. And then some people believe that it was like evil practices, that they were just like devil worshipping. Janet probably
If it's
left her. Janet.
If it's magical. You guys, I don't know if you guys saw on our Instagram stories, my friends threw me a surprise birthday
Oh my
party.
gosh, it was adorable.
And it was podcast themed. It was the best. And so anyway, they had all they all had on podcast t-shirts.
Yes.
They had signs everywhere, but they all had little like quotes from podcast episodes. And they had food named after. I mean, it was
so cute.
so much thought and so much greatness. But anyway, Janet, my friend Tony, the one who sent us the Resurrection Mary story,
amazing.
It was like just brownies with like Janet. I mean, and then there was like the word Janet was everywhere. And I was just like, God, I love it. I love that everybody loved the Janet.
Yes. It was so amazing. But why? Janet.
Janet.
That's it.
Sorry for the interruption.
No, that's good. Okay, so people are just like, well, I mean, maybe it's dark magic.
Well,
maybe
any
it's
magic
not.
is dark magic, as we know.
Right. So then we learned that there were some murders that happened that kind of put people on edge, and they were like, we got to get rid of these.
The hex murders?
These hex murderers.
We talked about those on the Patreon.
Y'all don't know nothing. We got to have like normal medicine.
Yeah. Are you making fun of farmers?
We got to have normal medicine up in here. I don't know that they talked like that in Pennsylvania.
Probably not, especially the Pennsylvania Dutch, German, whatever. But it's okay. You can still do it.
I'm going to keep.
You can make fun of farmers.
I'm going to make fun of farmers.
Can I slip that joke into every episode? Probably.
I think we've started that now. Yep. That's great. Okay. So this article said, you may wonder why the Pennsylvania Dutch mystical practice of powwow has any historical significance to Auburn, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Dutch had a significant presence in the Auburn area. And so they were a huge part of the heritage. So during the 1940s and 1950s was when it was like most prominent. They started having a large annual ceremony referred to the Auburn versamening. It's a Pennsylvania Dutch term for meeting or gathering.
Say it again.
Versamening. Versamening.
We're going to have a versamening today. A meeting.
Let's just have a meeting.
Yeah, can we just call it a meeting? I don't know.
Yeah. Let's just, I don't know.
For a powwow.
For a powwow.
It's like ShamWow.
We're like wiping the inside of a fish tank.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm imagining.
Okay, great.
Magically.
Glad we're on the same page. Okay. So there is a woman whose identity is uncertain. She once lived in the Forest Street and was said to have been skilled in the practice of powwow and mystical healing. The residents of the Auburn area said that either a family member or themselves have been treated for illnesses or injuries by powwowers, but they didn't really, talk about it. They just were just like, yeah, that's what we do. Like, I don't understand why, like, this is a big thing. Like, we're just going to go. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, that was one of the things that in the Patreon episode, it was like such a normal part. It wasn't a big deal. There was no reason to point it out. Like, it was just like, whatever.
Yeah. So there was a family, the Grover family. They lived in a half of a double house. So they lived in a duplex at 208 Forest Street in Auburn in the 1930s. The patriarch of the family was David Grover, and he was a known powwower. And he was an early resident of Auburn. And he was an Auburn Area Historical Society lifetime member. Yeah. I mean, that's just like, okay, great.
Yeah. Lifetime.
Is that like the Freemasons? Are you like, you couldn't get in, so now you're a part of this? Like,
my mom is in the Lancaster Historical Society.
I love it. The lady that runs the one here in Nicholasville is like the sweetest little lady ever. My
mom is too.
Well, of course, your mom is amazing.
Wait, you guys, my mom sent me a message. That I don't remember which episode it was, but she was like, "You said a bad word," which kind of surprised me because I generally don't on here,
Yeah.
But then she said, you also said OMG a lot.
Oh
but,
my gosh.
I mean, I say, oh my God, but she didn't want to say that.
Yes.
And she was like, can you say, oh my goodness instead? And
She's so cute.
I think I just sent back, I love you.
She's so cute.
She is really the cutest human being in the world. And she also congratulated me on my diction. So there's that. Go ahead.
She's adorable. Okay, so the late Oscar Kilmer told of his own powwow experiences with David Grover. Oscar lived in the 100th block of Forest Street, just a literal stone's throw down the street from the Grover family.
You said that like Moira.
Stone's throw. Fold the cheese, David. Okay, so...
I'm really getting you off track. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Oscar said that when he was a kid, he was super sick and he was bedridden. And then, like, normal medicine didn't make him feel better. So his parents were like, screw it. We're going to go talk to Mr. Grover and see if they can fix you. Mm-hmm. So Oscar said he remembers laying in his bed, super sick, and Mr. Grover came in his room and started reciting phrases from a book he brought with him. And the book was titled The 6th and 7th Books of Moses. And when he was done, he lit a pipe, blew smoke into Oscar's mouth and nose, and then completed the powwow treatment. He's like, it is finished. It is done.
That sounds gross. Ew.
I hope it was like vanilla bean tobacco or something, because that smells okay.
Yeah. He blew the smoke into the kid's mouth. Got it. Nose.
What if the poor kid had asthma? You just made it worse. Okay, so...
Questions.
Yes.
There are many.
So then he was like, you know what? I just healed this kid. I'm going to attempt to heal some others. He was going to start doing this in and out of his home. So he was like, I'm going to start with my family members. It's like when you start something new and you're like, guys, you all are now my guinea pigs. I'm going to practice on you all first.
Yeah. You all have to come to my party where I sell Mary Kay, because we're related.
Come to my Tupperware party. Yeah. It's going to be great.
I sell it now. My Cutco knives.
It's, oh my God, those messages you receive on Facebook.
Hey, boss babe.
Hey, I haven't seen you in like 12 years. And I know that I just sent you a friend request and you now have this message, but let's meet up.
Yeah. I've really missed you since I haven't talked to you in 20 years.
Guess what I'm up to these days?
I'm my own boss, you guys.
I'm my own boss and I sell these like protein shakes. You want some? Mm-hmm. In order to buy them, you have to sign up for $12,000 worth of them. Okay, so
I'm not against the selling. I'm against that message.
Yeah, just don't come at me.
Yeah, no.
Just nicely ask me if I want to buy something.
And if we haven't talked since high school, I don't.
Also, don't send my friends friend requests on Facebook. This happened to poor Kelsey. She was like, do you know this person? I said, I haven't talked to that person in years, and they're just a sister of an ex-boyfriend. And she said, well, they just sent me a friend request and sent me a message asking if I wanted to buy some stuff from them.
I don't know who thinks that's a great sales tactic. Like, what in the world?
Why?
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so
we're never getting through this story.
I'm really not. Okay, so decades later, when Oscar was telling his story, he was asked if the powwow spell cured him. And it says in his usual fashion, he replied, hell no, I got sicker than ever. He did eventually survive the illness, obviously. And then he was just like, it had nothing to do with the powwow treatment. Like, but we tried to make the guy feel better about himself. So we were just like, yeah, he's cured.
Yeah. It definitely worked.
He's running around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. So David Grover's practice of powwowing extended beyond more attempts to heal others. He was just going to use this to just spread far and wide. And then they started recognizing this on social media and television. So after the Grovers, another family moved into this home. They'd purchased both halves of the duplex, and they were going to convert it into a structure into one home. They made renovations to the interior walls to join the two halves, but they had no idea that like what David had done to the house to protect his family when he was learning powwowing. Or learning powwow. Learning the practice of powwowing. Guys,
it's all this.
He was a powwower. I don't...
Yeah. pow-wow-education.
Pow-wow-education. Pow-education. He was a pow-wow educator.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was.
Yes. Okay. So, he took some large measures to protect his home.
Like what?
So, this family that was like tearing it apart didn't notice anything. They lived there several decades and then sold it to its current occupants. I think that they're still current. I'm pretty sure. They thought this is going to be a great home for us. They had it inspected. It was fine. And then they lived there for a brief time and the roof started leaking. And they were like, oh, shoot, there's mold. There's mold in the interior and exterior walls. And it was on Mr. Grover's side of the house where he had initially lived.
Oh.
So it was there was so much mold that some of the family members started getting sick. So they decided to tear apart the interior side of the walls, and mold wasn't the only thing there. They discovered that portions of the attic floor allowed direct access to the top of these parts of the wall, and objects had been dropped into these spaces, either accidentally or purposely. They weren't sure because he's not around anymore. They removed the drywall, the plaster, and there was a lot of unusual items
in the walls. Oh, good.
Okay, there's this group on Facebook. Go join it now. It's like hidden things found in walls or
Kara
things.
is the one who added me to it, and
it's amazing. And people are always like banana for reference, like trying to like
show
the
how big
size or whatever.
Is.
People are really funny on
There are so many strange things.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Some traumatizing things, some great things. People are finding things in their yard. People are buying like old schoolhouses, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
So scary.
So what did they find in these walls?
So it said some of the items found within the walls could easily have been accidentally lost when they dropped into the space, like an empty wooden thread spool or a small package of fishing hooks. Like say somebody were just like walking around up in the attic and like dropped it, and they were like, oh shoot, I can't get that because it's now in the wall.
In the wall.
The wall.
Okay.
But they said that some of the items were definitely intentionally placed, so they could like dispose of them or hide them from the family members. And it was like a portion of a cigarette package, medicinal bottles, a vintage bottle with the name Hilleman and Philida. And it could either be like a soda bottle or a beer bottle. Another vintage bottle with A.G. Trader on it. A New Haven was found in the 1890s. Jesus. He was a popular New Haven barman, which implies the bottle may have had alcohol in it. Obviously it did.
Right.
There was a broken bottle of cough syrup. So people were probably just like getting drunk on this, and they're like, oh shoot, my mom's coming.
Yeah, we're going to put it down the wall.
Put it in the wall.
Like whatever teenager discovered that's where he could hide things was like,
this is great.
Yeah, no one will ever know.
Yes. So there were like other medicinal bottles, more alcohol, all that stuff shoved in the walls, tequila, all the random things that you think like a teenager who's not supposed to have this stuff hid in the walls, or like, I don't know, whoever hid them. But these, they don't think were from David. They think that he shoved some stuff in the walls because he had dark, awful secrets that were horrifying and beyond terrifying, which is what some of these articles say. And I'm like, y'all are just trying to stir up. Like, this is back to the hex scare thing.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, what do you mean it was terrifying?
Don't make witchy things scary. Don't make magic things scary. But they said, they were like, oh, well, what if these are the things that are making the family ill? No.
It's the mold.
There's mold in the walls. The mold. It's mold. So they were just like, news articles started like exaggerating everything, building up hype, like all this stuff. But they were just like, it's not like unusual. We're not terrified of what we found in here. Like, it's not something you all need to be going after. But there were some things that show that this guy did practice some other form of like medicinal usage and pow-wowing. Yeah. So, that little head keeps jiggling every time I touch the desk. It's creepy. Okay, so there was a curved piece of oak wood that had a strip of cloth tied to it. And I'm just like, that's like a flag or something. I don't know. An individual who specializes in the study of Pennsylvania Dutch heritage stated that this practice of tying knots around an object was used in powwow. And then other things in the wall were metal, which a specialist stated was used in the spells for protection from hexes being placed against one person or place. And these items, there was also a badly bent and buckled curtain rod, an empty tin of healing ointment, a tin of black pepper, a metal funnel-shaped item, an unidentifiable round metal tin with a lid, an iron frying pan. And they were just like, well, maybe these are just like stuff they tossed just and junk. They were like trying to get rid of and they couldn't like bury them in the yard or something. But they said that the iron frying pan was still capable of being used. And so they were like, oh, I don't think that they just discarded it. And then they said that the intentional placement of the frying pan within the walls was highly suggestive that its presence there was due to a powwow spell by Grover. If one metal item was definitely placed within the walls for that purpose, it stands to reason that at least some of the other metal items found within the wall were placed there on purpose as well.
So they think it's like, as a spell, you got to put a frying pan in your wall.
Yeah, or just like whatever metal objects you have available. And he's like, well, shit, I've used all these tins of metal. Like, I've used my cigarette tin, I've used this tin, I've used this tin. I mean, I guess the only thing I have available is my metal frying pan. I'm just going to shove this down the wall. It'll be great.
So strange.
It'll be lovely. And then they found other, like, certain ties to the powwow era. Like I said, there was the cloth thing tied to the piece of wood. There was a cloth with, it says, painstakingly sewn shut to secure the contents within it. Inside the cloth was found partial animal skeleton remains. Other skeletal remains of animals were found within other cloths. Numerous chicken feet were inside the wall.
Why did they put them in the wall?
Chicken skulls.
I don't understand.
There's no other chicken bones. But there were rib cages present. Not sure if that was from a chicken or
like just rib cages.
Yeah, just like solid, just. And then the heads and the feet of the chicken were deliberately placed within the walls. Other animal skulls from small to moderate in size were found within the walls. And they said some of these creatures, like the mice and stuff, could have like just died there on their own. But others were deliberately placed in a specific way.
It'd be interesting. Yeah. Like, this building's really old.
Yeah.
I wonder what's in the walls.
Yes. And it says that, like, for sure, the way that these are placed, like, people that were researching it, for sure, like, this is what it was there for. Like, he was a powwower. He was using his dark magic to do all of this stuff. So, the article said the presence of these skeletal remains was not a dark and awful secret. Their discovery was not frightening. It wasn't terrifying. David Grover was just trying to protect his family and home and using his common practice of powwow. And it was just based on his religious beliefs.
Oh, it's like a protection spell. Yes. That makes sense. I guess because it's skeletons, people automatically think it's something dark.
Yes, and it says that, you know, that book that we mentioned about Moses in the Bible, it was just like, either these are affiliated with Moses in the Bible, we're not sure, but I mean, the man believed what he believed. It is certain that the media just kind of like freaked out and just wanted to take it. It makes it a big story. Yes. It says that the walls in this house have been cleared of his mementos, and the family is living within the home. They've done the repairs. They renovated major portions of the house. And they're not terrified of mold. They're not sick anymore. But they're just like, you know, he left a legacy and we're just going to continue to, you know, think about that and the memories that we share because of it. And
that's interesting.
Hopefully the world can learn more about it and, you know, be at, I guess, like more peace with it instead of just being terrified of it.
I enjoy that. Well, it's like, because I'd never heard of powwow stuff until these couple stories. So it is a nice way to just sort of bring awareness to what that was.
Yeah.
I'm sure the media's like, the family is terrified.
The family cannot
And meanwhile, the family's like,
No, guys, we're good.
Are you terrified? I'm not.
We're good. They've got like the chicken foot on a keychain. They're like, no, I think
We
it's fine.
love this.
It's fine. It's fine. Like they've got little altars in the house with like all the skulls on it.
And all their crystals everywhere.
Yeah.
They're like, well, no, actually, we're super into this.
No,
yeah.
it's fine,
We
guys.
think it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
that's
using
great.
these in our own practices.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Friday, you guys.
My gosh, guys.
Let's see, it is October 29th.
How?
My best friend from second grade on, her birthday is the 29th. So everybody say happy birthday to Kristen.
Happy birthday,
Say
Kristen.
happy birthday to every
Happy
Kristen
birthday.
you see,
Yeah,
basically.
just in case.
And then, of course, my birthday is
Sunday. Yep,
So
it's happening.
also say happy birthday to every Megan. Every single one.
Just say.
They'll all appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to say this to you because
Yeah, Megan said so.
Megan said so. It's Megan's birthday. So everybody
and
must be celebrated.
Can you believe
Megan.
it's already the end of October?
No. It's
And
going to
now
be
we're like,
Thanksgiving and then it's going to be
It's
New Year's.
Christmas.
There's like that blurred time between Thanksgiving and New Year's and you're just like, what have I done with my life?
Yeah.
What is this?
Have you started any Christmas shopping? No, me neither.
No.
And everybody's stressing me out because they're all talking about shortages everywhere. And what I'm just like, I
Have you seen that
I
meme
can't
of like
function.
what everybody's Black Friday is going to be? And it's, what is her name? Jennifer.
feel like I actually
She
saw it
was on-
today, but I don't know her name.
I think that's her name. She was on Gilmore Girls.
Melissa
She was-
McCarthy.
Yes, Melissa. Yes.
Yeah.
She's like on like a little
Yeah.
jet ski thing, like driving. It's like what everybody's Black Friday is
Insanity.
going to be because you know those things.
I don't
are-
do Black Friday
Stuck on the
shopping.
water.
Kara does.
Jason and I do.
Yeah, they love their Black Friday shopping. I've never in my whole entire life gone.
We usually only shop for ourselves on Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause it's kinda
I don't
hard.
even
Unless
know what I'm
you
getting
have
anybody
like
this year.
kids that when Toys R Us used to be a thing, that was the place to go. But now we just try to get the kids stuff out of the way before that, so we can just find
Enjoy
random
it.
things.
Yeah.
And we play this game where it's like, what would you pay for it? And I've done that with you before. Like
Mhm.
you have to, if somebody's like, I like that, you pick it up, hide the price. What would you pay for it? And if they're like $15.99 and it's $12.99, they have to buy it.
Yeah.
But
If it's less than what you said you'd pay for it,
Yeah.
you have to get it.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good idea because there's times when I'm like, do I really want this? And that's what I should do.
Yeah.
It's like, I would get this if it was this much money.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
So
for
much.
tuning in
Yes.
all month long. We've loved creating so much extra content for you guys.
It's been a lot of fun.
It really has.
And we've
But I'm
heard some
also
good
looking
stories.
forward to the break.
Yes.
And going
Yeah.
back to our 2 episodes
Yeah.
a week
Going back to normal.
plus the Patreon content.
Mhm.
We're also, by the way, planning on adding a little more bonus content to the Patreon starting next year.
Yeah.
So
We're working on some
look forward to
stuff.
that. And we love you so
So
much.
much. And thanks so much for listening to us.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.